So we have found a place to camp. We have maybe 45 minutes of sunlight left, so we're gonna get set up. One of our biggest things right now is trying to find water. Our hike earlier today,
Pretty much.
it's hot. Yeah, I don't have much water left. Austin ain't got much water left. So we found a nice little area to set up. We know this property very well, so we know that there's a water source here. It's maybe half a mile.
Yeah, so about half a mile. Mostly downhill, so that's nice since we don't have much water left to get there.
Yep.
Then it's all uphill back to camp.
Like we said, water, and then get set up before the sun goes down. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, so real quick, before we go and grab some water, I want to talk through a couple of essential things. So really, we're about to take a 15-minute trip, but no matter where you think you're going, it can always take longer. So you always want to keep extra supplies on you and be prepared for what's coming next. So night's coming, I'm gonna carry a headlamp. I know I can get there and back way before the sun goes down, but if something happens and I can't, well, then you're in trouble. That goes for all aspects of life. I mean, tourniquets, if you haven't carry a tourniquet on you, if something happens, I always carry my weapon, you know, CWP. I mean, even a lighter, something as simple as just a lighter could get you out of a lot of trouble or even help sustain you through the night. So when you're getting ready, going out, doing whatever it may be, always think of the next step, because you need to prep for the next step now, not when it's happening. All right, so now during this hot day, we'll get rid of this, what is now hot water, fill it with some cold water. Actually really refreshing, pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, you gotta suck this thing, all right? So, you don't want to stare another man in the eyes when you're doing it, but you do have to give a straw a little bit of sucking to get that water to come through. But once it gets flowing, it's a lot easier to maintain and to actually drink the water. So yeah, life straw.
All right, so unlike Austin's sucking power, I have the Catadine B3, so it's push through water filter. I'm getting 2 liters today. Fill this up, push it through, fill this up, use it at camp. So 1 liter in what, 10 seconds, 12 seconds? So it still has some life left on it. Top this bag off and then refill it. Take 2 liters back to camp.
All right, so I just finished setting up my sleeping area for the night. Got the Inu. Always heard great things about them, so we're going to test it out tonight for sure. I have a really light sleeping bag. The bag itself, I get really hot at night, so it's really thin. Hopefully it'll keep me nice and cool throughout these summer nights. That was called the C2 Summit. Then the Arrows pillow, because you gotta stay comfortable. I mean, I like to be comfortable. Didn't have a whole lot of time to prep for this trip. With that being said, obviously I'm missing, the big thing right here that would keep me nice and dry if it dews or even starts raining. So we'll see how that plays in come the morning time. And if I'm cuddled up with, Brian, then, well, just act like you didn't see it.
All right, guys, so set up the Grand Trunks double nest hammock. First time setting it up, aside from the review video type thing I did. Austin had to move down because this tree we're using right here with the Grand Trunks straps that I have, it would fit around it and give me about a foot of space, or what is that, 8 inches of space maybe? It's easy setup, but especially using a tree of this diameter, which is not a very big tree at all, I mean, I have no space, I have no room. I'll be sleeping in the Get Out Gear down puffy blanket that we reviewed not too long ago, so pretty good little blanket. It's only supposed to get like 70 tonight, so it's supposed to be pretty warm. No sense in bringing out my 0-degree bag if it's going to be hot tonight. So this should do me pretty fine tonight. So far, not a fan of the Grand Trunks, but we'll sleep in it tonight and we'll see how it goes. Cool. So one thing we want to bring up is building a fire. A lot of people in their get home bags or even in bug out bag test challenges, whatever you want to call them, they'll say, oh, Austin, we need to be secretive, we need to be all quiet, we want to be gray man. Then they'll go out here and they'll build this raging, roaring fire in the middle of the woods. What does a fire do at night?
Well, it gives off a little bit of light.
Yeah,
I believe.
Especially when you're the only thing lighting up at night. This is our tactical cat. we put it in a bag, and it is our get home cat. If we wanted to build a fire, we would build a small one, maybe either a Dakota fire hole, or I carry it kind of like a firebox. So my fire would be this big, and I could still boil my water, I could still cook my meals, but I wouldn't want to be near my camp, and I wouldn't want to focus on that fire. That way, in case Austin's the bad guy, he sees this fire over here, even though it's, yay big, he's going to see it, and he's going to be looking for me.
Exactly.
Well, at least if I'm 20 foot back versus, right there on top of it, I'm going to see him coming. And that's why you don't want to build this massive, raging, roaring fire.
Not to mention, if you're just using a get home bag, your object is to get home.
Right.
You're not camping here for 2 weeks. There's no reason to have a giant fire pit. No reason to have this giant blazing fire with 3 days worth of wood stacked up. Well, that's a lot of effort, a lot of work you don't need to do when your object is to get home.
Yep. Every time we do a get home bag, every time we do a bug out bag, there's always commenters, oh man, you'd only want to walk at night. So let's go over pros and cons of walking at night versus the day, or walking at day during the night.
One of my biggest problems with walking at night during, for instance, a civil unrest issue is that, daytime is going to be active. You're going to have people rioting, things like that, yes, 100%. But at night, it's much worse. At night, you have less witnesses, which means people will do worse things to you if they can. If you're traveling at night during a civil unrest, I would say your chances of survival are far less.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah. If you have a backpack on and you're walking through somewhere where people are rioting and, there are threats and this, that, and the other, well, now police officers sees you walking around with a bag on, they're going to assume that you are one of those rioters. So now you just went from being an innocent bystander who's just trying to get home to his family or just trying to get home to be safe to someone who is a potential suspect in whatever's happening around them. If you're in a desert atmosphere where it's extremely hot, you want to conserve your energy throughout the day. You want to nap, you want to rest, eat, hydrate, and then at night when it's cooler, that's when you want to try to travel when you can. In most urban environments or even cities, you won't have that issue. So traveling at daytime it's not a problem.
One more thing is being able to see what's around us. With the lights off, we can see maybe 10 yards, 15 yards.
Don't know what we're looking at, but we can see it.
Let's say you're walking home. Somebody sees your little light. Red light, white light, green light, doesn't matter. They can say, all right, I'm just going to sit right here and wait for this person to get closer. So I walk into the area, I get ambushed at night. I can't see the face, I can't see a shape, I can't see anything. Some dude hits me with a brick and runs off. Takes my pack. Versus during the day, I can see 1,000 yards during the day.
So the light that I have has, different modes. Like I have red, I have green, and then I have high, medium, low. Well, that light can be seen from a long way at night. If I see you with a flashlight, I can pinpoint exactly where you are at all times because of that light. Now, yes, the green and red, they don't shine as bright. They're easy on your eyes when you're adjusted to the night. And that's all well and good, but it's still a light that gives away your position. And if I'm traveling at night in a wooded area, chances are I don't want my position given away because I'm not in a good situation. Furthermore, why would I travel at night if I can travel in the day? It's a common sense factor at some point where does it make sense to walk around at night or walk in the daytime?
Let us know your thoughts and your opinions. Is traveling at night worth the risk? Or are you just going to do it because someone else on YouTube told you to? Let us know in the comments section. This is the Emberlit stainless steel little firebox stove looking thing. This is the first time I've ever not brought a fuel canister stove out here. The other day, myself and one of my coworkers were recording a video, and come to find out that I did not have my gas canister stove in my bag. So I wanted to play off of that scenario. Well, I carry this little breakdown stove in my bag. It folds up extremely flat, and it fits in this little packet. So we're gonna boil some water, and we're gonna be using a Blackbeard fire starter. So I got this a long time ago and just never used it, so we're gonna try it out today. So I got the Blackbeard up front. We're lighting it up. Now we're gonna push it in. This is the first time I've used Blackbeard, and I've had it in my kit for over a year. So make sure that stuff works. Make sure you have ways to get a fire. Doesn't mean that you need a fire every time that you go out, but make sure you do have ways to light one. Tonight, it being 80-something degrees, very humid, we don't need to start a fire, but we have ways and opportunities to make one if we did need one. So it's really going good. That Blackbeard helped it. That all those pine cones extremely helped it. We're going to put a little bit more on, get a nice little ash basin, and then we are going to get some coffee going. We're just going to put this cup right here, see how long it takes to boil. About the time I make up a pot of coffee with this thing, it's going to cool down long enough for me to take it, put it back in the bag, and be all on my way. My water's boiling like a beautiful rolling boil right now. So it's 10:08 when we put it in, 10:11, 10:12, so 4 minutes to get water boiling. And as you can tell, I still have a lot of sticks, a lot of twigs in here to get a second pot boiling or something like that. We used a little bit of Blackbeard's fire starter, which I think worked very, very well. 4 minutes to get water boiling. That is very impressive. Something like this, when stuff is dry, does come in handy. All right, guys, so we want to discuss setting up in a, I'd say, semi-permanent shelter versus doing a, just a trash bag or a whoopee beside a tree. We want to compare those two and the benefits of good sleep during a get-home situation.
So let's look at our situation. The situation is, let's say we're 50 miles away from us, which is Cabela's. So 50 miles, that's a long way to travel. One thing you're going to need is sleep. You really going to have to rest. Your body is made to rest. It's not made to just go and go and go and go. So let's say you get 6 miles. Let's say you get 10 miles into that day before it gets nighttime. Setting up a trash bag or a little lean-to of some sort against a tree, sleeping on the ground, you're not going to get good rest. You're going to wake up tired, groggy,
in pain.
And in pain, and you still got 40 miles to go. What'd you gain?
Yep.
You didn't gain anything. You didn't get a head start on the day because you didn't have to clean up anything. You essentially just wasted, a decent night's rest versus getting good sleep, being prepared for the next day, and getting back home.
And as we're sitting here, I'm looking at his leg, and he's got an ant crawling on him. I've already brushed off 5 or 10 of them. When we were shooting the video earlier, I'm just, dusting myself off. Hammock, tent, yes, it's a lot to carry. You're looking at 2-3 pounds versus a 55-gallon drum liner that weighs absolutely nothing. Even if you work only 5 miles away, real world scenario, how often are you 10 miles away, 20 miles away, 30 miles away? I don't go to Cabela's a lot, but when I do, I want to know that, okay, if something happens, even if I have to foot it home, I can do it. Most of us, if we slept wrong last night on our nice $1,000 Serta mattress, we're going to complain about it for the next 2 days. We're not going to feel like ourselves. But you think that you can lay down on this ground or sleep up against that tree in a trash bag and that you're not going to wake up cramped, in pain?
With spiders on your face?
Yeah, no, you're going to be in pain. So, yeah, recommend some sort of decent shelter. It's definitely worth the wait.
Hello, hi, how you doing?
Slept here last night, finished up camp this morning, just getting things packed up. Pretty good night. A couple weird noises, but I mean, other than that, we slept pretty good. It actually got a little chilly last night. I'd say mid-60s. The get out gear down puffy was perfect. Like a whoopee, it keeps you warm. It's that perfect temperature. Mid-60s is good for it. Grand Trunk's hammock is apparently a single nest hammock. I mean, there's that. I did all right, and then I moved to a position where I don't know what I did. I woke up and I moved, and then I just couldn't get comfortable for a couple hours, and then I repositioned and got comfortable and went back to sleep. So
the hammock slept really well. So mine is a double. I didn't like that it came up and kind of cut my field of vision at night.
But it was nice. It was comfortable. The pillow was really nice. Won't lie about that. And then having that thin little sleep system that I have was helpful, but as cool as it got last night, it wasn't perfectly ideal. But outside of that, I slept great. That one bird, bobcat, whatever it was, me and him didn't chop too well, but hey, other than that, you know, it was a good night.
So we had walking portions to this video instead of it just being a, you know, come down here and camp. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened to them. They just went to the memory card and gone. We walked about 5-6 miles yesterday. No real complaints. I mean, both of us wearing teeny shoes. Our packs are summer loadouts, so not big, not heavy at all.
They're really light.
We drink enough water. Really no complaints until we lost the footage. And then yeah, so it started down here. Again, get out, test your gear. This was essentially a fun camping trip for us, and it was enjoyable. Getting to hang in a hammock, good. Getting to use a little what was that? Little wood burning stove.
Oh yeah, that little thing.
Almost getting attacked by a bear cat bird thing. It was good. It was good.
The best of times.
The best. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed it, and again, tune in next time for more adventures. And might be seeing more of Austin, or not. Who knows? We might vote him off the island. We don't know.
We'll let you decide. Comment down below.
Yeah, should we vote him off the island or keep him around? All right, guys. Well, that's all I got.
Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all next time.
Later, y'all.